Hey everybody, it's Jay Kitchen from jaysbeard.com. I hope you're doing really well today. We are going to be doing a kind of a long form video on oud fragrances. This is going to be a continuing feature. We're going to be doing a series of videos on ouds, tobaccos, ambers, fragrances that I like, and that I have an accumulation of decants that I think are deserving of sort of comparing and contrasting in long form videos. So that's kind of what we're going to do with this one. The first oud that we're going to talk about is something called Resala from Arabian Oud. Check out the bottle. I was turned on to this, I think by Curly Fragrance like 2 years ago when I first started doing the reviewing and the accumulation of decants in a serious manner. And she raved about it, along with a lot of other frag-com influencers and so on. And if you're watching this channel, you know what I'm talking about. I got it, I liked it, I reviewed it, and I put it away. And I actually ended up buying a 5 ml decant, which I did not infrequently when I first started reviewing, because I figured, well, I'm going to spray these all the time, and it doesn't always work out that way. However, I did get the 5 ml decant. And, I sprayed it, and I'm going to put another spritz or two on me right now. This is a scent that is very, very potent. It's really strong. The dominant notes seem to be rose and chocolate, despite the fact that it's, made by an oud perfumer. I mean, the name of the company, for goodness sake, is Arabian Oud. The notes on this are, the fragrance notes, it's not a pyramid, it's linear. It's chocolate, rose, woodsy notes, vanilla, and saffron. It's a really, really rich fragrance, and it's got incredible longevity, particularly on my flesh. My skin doesn't hold a lot of fragrances. This scent sticks around for 6 to 10 hours, no problem. With just like, if I spray 6 sprays of this, I'll have it for 12 hours, easily. And that's good, but it's also not good, because it's a very intense, very strong, real potent, as one of the perfume reviewers would say, it's very powerful. It's got a very strong scent, but it's the rose and the kind of the chocolate notes. It's, I like it a lot. It's one of these scents that I really like. I just don't know where I would wear it, except by myself, at home, walking around. It's a lot of people are not going to be feeling this, particularly in this part of the world. Like North America, oud is becoming a thing, but not in the kind of concentrations and the formulations that are used elsewhere in the world. It's really, really nice. If you have an interest in oud fragrances, you should definitely get your nose on this one. It's really nice. But again, I don't know where I would wear this. I do love it. I mean, I would wear it at home. I do wear it at home. I will spray myself with this and just walk around the house, The next fragrance is a little bit off. It's not off the beaten track per se, but this is a lesser known perfumer. We are talking about Renaya J's Oud Assam. Now, I had picked this up. Well, first check out the bottle. I had picked this up as a decant from Lucky Scent, must have been 2 years ago, because it's an oud fragrance. I like ouds, and when I first started reviewing fragrances in earnest, I was really chasing down the oud dragon, as it were. I got the discovery set for Renaya J, and if you don't know her work, you should definitely check her stuff out. If you like interesting, exotic, sort of Middle Eastern type perfumery. She's very interesting, very creative. This Oud Assam, okay, this is a very animalic, I want to say fecal, but it's, that is there. But the notes on this, if you read descriptors, whether it's from Lucky Scent or Fragrantica, the fragrance notes that they talk about in this scent are in the pyramid: bitter orange, sweet orange, and bergamot are the top notes. And then you've got Indian oud as the middle note. The base notes are olivandum, vetiver, tonka bean, cedar, black pepper, and musk. So they actually do talk about agarwood oud in the formulation, which in Resala they did not. But this is really, it's much more fecal. That's the only way I can describe it. And does it smell like shit? Not really, but it's got a really strong smelliness to it. I don't really pick up the citrus. If you read reviews, whether it's on Lucky Scent or Fragrantica or wherever, a lot of people talk about the citrus, the orange, balancing out the oud. I don't really pick up the orange at all. I'm just getting oud. Now, this is Indian oud, which apparently, I guess, is different than ouds from different parts of the world, which kind of makes sense. It's a real, like I say, it's a real funky, really earthy, very masculine, very strong, you know, like that kind of strong. And, you know, this is, if you like oud, you got to get your nose on this because it's a real strong oud scent. And again, I really like it. I like the Resala better. It's smoother, it's sweeter. This is just really in your face. It's tempered somewhat, and it does chill out. It does mellow out into a very, very nice, funky skin scent. But that takes about an hour and a half. So if you're going to wear this in a closed space, don't. Do yourself, do your colleagues, do your partners, whomever, a favor. Don't wear it in a closed space. It's really intense. But it's worth checking out as an oud. If you like ouds, if you're an oud aficionado, check it out. We are continuing our oud reviews, and I'm talking about Oud right now. This is from Andy Tower. Check out the image. It's pretty standard for Andy's, like I know the guy. It's pretty standard for Tower bottles, the pentagon kind of shape. Check it out and subscribe while you're doing that. So I'm going to do a little spritzer of this. I got a decant some time ago from, I think, Scent Decant, or Scent Split, I should say. It's got a real earthy, animalic kind of oud. And let me just read a little bit from Lucky Scent with respect to this. This is when somebody like Andy Tower decides to do an oud, you sit up and pay attention. Unlike most other brands, Tower never jumped on the oud bandwagon because he disagreed with the way oud synthetics were being marketed to customers as the real thing. Now, having secured a sustainable source of real oud from a Laotian plantation, it's time to show people what a Tower oud smells like. Let's cut to the chase. This is a smoky, leathery take on oud that illustrates the true darkness of the material without eating you for breakfast. It's not only wearable, but addictive and oh so sexy. So there's more to it than that they lay out in the descriptors, but this is not cheap. From what I'm seeing on Lucky Scent, a 50 ml of this is $410. Very, very spendy. And they used to have a 5 ml sampler that you could get from Tower Scents, Tower Perfumes, actually. And they do have some discovery sets as well. But I don't think the 5 ml of Oud is available anymore, unfortunately. No. If you believe anything you read on Fragrantica, the main accords for the scent are woody, amber, earthy, oud, leather, musky, balsamic, smoky, warm, spicy, and animalic. The fragrance pyramid for this scent is, it's not a pyramid, it's linear, but it's packed. You got agarwood, castoreum, cypriol oil, myrrh, mushroom, styrax, vetiver, patchouli, labdanum, tobacco, ambergris, sandalwood, musk, rose, and jasmine. What Andy Tower says about this fragrance, or at least what the brand says about it, Le Oud is a fragrance that builds around a natural oud essential oil from Laos. There's no olfactory pyramid as the fragrance is not composed around head, heart, and body notes. Le Oud accord with natural oud and cypriol, to name 2 ingredients, is central to the fragrance. All of their notes and ingredients are there to support a naturalistic, wild, untamed oud. The oud from Laos was imported with an official CITES license. This was launched in 2018. if you like ouds that are really oudy, I mean, for lack of a better description, you can't go, I mean, you can go wrong with this because it's a little bit almost beyond the pale, like almost a bridge too far. I mean, it's really fucking sexy. Really animalic. It doesn't smell to me like feces like some ouds do, but it's got a real thick kind of scent to it, and it's really, it mellows out after you apply it, but it is a significantly strong oud scent. I mean, if you are an oud aficionado and you've not tried this, you definitely owe it to yourself to get your nose on it. It's pretty amazing. But this, again, is something that I really would have no place to wear it except maybe at home to make myself enjoy it, because it's just not, for me, it's not a practical scent. You know, it's just too dang oudy. But it's very nice. I can't argue with the way it smells. It smells really beautiful. But again, it's oud. It's funky. It's not for everybody. The next scent that we're going to move on to is something that I fell in love with. This is from Les Artisans Parfums. And, you know, I don't really buy a lot of full bottles. I just don't. It's to me, I'd rather buy a 5 or a 10 ml sampler, test it out. If I really like it, then maybe I'll spring for a full bottle. This, I mean, we'll put a proper photograph up as well, but this is the full bottle of Oud Ulya from Les Artisans. Now I got this on eBay for slightly discounted. It was maybe $50 less than list. I think this is about $270 list price, if I'm not mistaken. It's well, we're going to spray it. Whew. I know. Oof. It's got vanilla in it. The main accords on Eau de la Oud are vanilla, oud, warm, spicy, powdery, metallic, and sweet. This was released in 2021. The nose behind the scent is Christophe Reynaud, who's been behind a number of other scents. You know, he's not an amateur by any stretch of the imagination. The notes are, the perfumer had long dreamed of a fruit liquor with floral accents as sweet as a flow of honey down the throat, with the effect almost of a mysterious potion. He made it the beating heart of the perfume, the soul, the very essence of his creation. Even in the base, the perfumer has favored simplicity. A leathery animal note suggested by oud wood resonating perfectly with saffron and vanilla bean, a signature fragrance with the necessary roundness and comfort. This fragrance reflects the delicious opulence of vanilla, colored with spices and adorned with vibrant woods. And that's from Christophe Reynaud, the perfumer. This scent's fragrance notes: vanilla, agar wood, also known as oud, and saffron. That's it. That's it. This scent is really elegant to me, and it's more vanilla probably than oud, but it's the combination of the two. And you see a lot of oud and rose and a lot of oud and vanilla. This is definitely the vanilla and saffron oud cousin. And, you know, it's a delicious scent. This, to me, could very well be a signature scent. I mean, I wouldn't have bought a bottle of it if I didn't really kind of believe in the scent itself, you know, and how good it is. And, you know, like I say, it's not a cheap purchase. Now, I picked this up on eBay, as I said earlier, and, you know, I just now, which the part that I edited out, I looked for this on the web and I really couldn't find it anywhere. I'm not sure what the deal is with it, but it's really an amazing fragrance. It's very rich. It's really, to me, it's really sexy. It's really warm. The vanilla is definitely stronger than the oud, but the combo of the two is just very, very warm. To me, sexy and comforting. It's really, it's one of the nicest scents in general to my nose that I've smelled doing this for the last 2.5 years, and even for the 10 and 20 years before that when I was doing it as a kind of a hobbyist, not as sort of an avocation. It's really, really a beautiful scent. If you can get your nose on a decant of this, I highly recommend it. It's really, really sexy. The next scent that we're going to talk about in this segment, and then we're going to take another olfactory break for a little while and then come back to some other scents. The next scent we're going to be talking about is Amouage. It's an Amouage scent. We're talking about Oud Ulya. Now again, this is a scent that I spent money on. Now the full retail price of this, if you go to Lucky Scent, if they had it, they don't even have it, is like almost $600 for 14. No, I take it back. It's $590 for 12 mLs. 12 mLs. It's really not very much. Now, you can find it occasionally. I think it may be, as we speak right now, on Joma Shop for like $350 or $370, something like that. I paid around $270 or $280 about a year ago. A lot of freaking money. And the problem with these bottles, as you'll see once I take the top off, they are very small and they're really hard to open. Really hard. And what happened is I kind of screwed the opening up. So I had to put a stopper in it. You see this blue stopper? But this is the scent. I'm going to try and get it out of here very carefully. So this is the scent. We got our blue stopper in there. And then we're going to re-affix it into the container. This is the top that comes in with this. Now there is a rim around there which somehow I screwed up and it got knocked into the container of scent. So I had to sort of improvise. And what you do with this is, it's so intense, okay? You basically take what should be the top and then you pull it in. And I don't know if you can see it. Let's see here. You'll take it in and you'll get, So I hope you can see this. You can see there's should be a little drop forming on the end of that. And what you do is, when that drops, you drop it on your wrist, right? So I'm going to try and demonstrate if I can. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we got one drop. You see that? We're going to just kind of go like that and go like this. I'm going to recap this. And I have to say, I'm really kind of pissed at myself for screwing this up. It really is annoying that I broke it, basically. So I can't travel with this because it will spill. And when it spills, it'll be very nasty. Although I did, when I first got turned on to these, I know I'm digressing all over the place with this, but when I first got turned on to these Atars from Amouage, I bought this 6-scent sample set. And, you know, they do have little ampules of all of them. So I could, in theory, fill up the Oud Ulya ampule and travel with that, which would be fine. But getting back to the scent, which is the most important reason why we're here, right? This was, the perfumer behind this was Cecile Zarokian. You've heard her name on this channel many times. The notes on Lucky Scent for this are the raw animality of the Oud Assam. Now, remember Oud Assam from the Renaya J, is sublimed by the intense smokiness of birch tar and tamed by a generous pour of vanilla. The pure expression of Oud, as royal and lavish as the nature of Ulya, which I believe is a place in Oman, if I'm not mistaken. Lucky Scent's comments are, Amouage has access to the finest Assam Oud. In other words, some of the best Oud anywhere in the world. And this regal attar takes full advantage, showcasing the undeniable commanding power of undiluted oud oil, while also deftly accentuating its smoky woodsiness and deluxe creaminess with perfect helpings of birch and vanilla. It's an oil fit for a monarch. You know, this stuff is amazing. The main accords on Fragrantica are leather, oud, smoky, animalic, musky, vanilla, powdery, and woody. This was launched in 2021, as I said before. The nose behind this is Cecile Zarokian. The fragrance pyramid, totally linear. Agar wood, birch tar, castoreum, vanilla, and civet. So it's very animalic. It's very animalic, but I have to say, of most of the oud fragrances I've tried, this is just, to me, super authentic, super non-synthetic. And, you know, for the price point, you know, you're spending $590 in theory at top retail for 12 mLs of oil. It's not like alcohol because it's in a tar, but it's got, the oud is so rich. But it's really kind of, it's not as soft and as sweet as the Oud Ulya Oud from L'Artisan. That's much more of a sweeter vanilla-esque kind of thing. This is a bit raw, but it's soft around the edges. I mean, I love it. I'm actually in the process of learning how to make perfumes, and this is like one of the top formulas I've already got that I'm going to try and reproduce. We'll see how good I do it. But, you know, the idea is I can't spend this kind of money on these sort of scents for the rest of my life. Not that I'm going to be on the planet for forever, but really nice. Just so rich, so animalic. Not everybody's going to like this. You can't wear this in a small space. You'll definitely get a fucking headache, as will people around you. And I wiped some more of that stopper on myself just to clean it up a little bit. So I'm fairly reek of this, and I think I'm going to have a problem when I go to bed. I think someone in my bedroom is not going to be happy about it, the way I stink or smell. But then again, you never know. It's a very, very strong, really nice fragrance. You know, I was talking about the other oud, I would only wear it at home. This is close to that, but I wore this out actually tonight to a dinner in a very small amounts. I put it on like 5 hours before I went out. I could still smell myself, but it was far in the background. But it does hang around. It's got amazing longevity. One drop, both wrists, on the beard, I'm good for like 6 to 10 hours. Pretty incredible. I love it. The next oud that we're going to be talking about is something from a perfumer that I've been going through the discovery set over the last couple of weeks and going forward. By the time you see this, I'll review probably more of her scents. From Dusita, Dusita Perfumer. The perfumer behind this is Pizzar Umajavani. She's Thai, if I'm not mistaken, but the house is based in France. So this is their Oud Infinity. And check out the bottle. It's gorgeous with the color. I mean, the bottle itself is pretty simple, but it's pretty freaking amazing. Now, this is an extrait de parfum. The main notes on Fragrantica are musky, aromatic, oud, powdery, woody, rose, amber, white, floral, vanilla, and warm, spicy. This scent was launched in 2016. Now, this has what the Oud from Tower has. This has got Laotian Oud in it. The fragrance, the pyramid, is pretty simple. Not linear, but simple. The top notes are Laotian Oud, Rose de Mai, Tunisian Orange Blossom. Middle notes, sandalwood and benzoin, and the base notes are civet, musk, and Madagascar vanilla. You'll notice a lot of these oud fragrances have vanilla in them. It's very rich, it's real deep, it's very animalic, very animalic, however you want to pronounce it, potato. It's, if you like oud, you should definitely check this out. It's not as soft around the edges as I like, although as you wear it, it does chill out or mellow out. And it's not as strong as a lot of other ouds. The rose comes in and really kind of dials back the oud, because when you first spray it, it's very, very funky. That Laotian oud, I mean, I'm trying other scents and attars, you know, perfume oils that have the Laos and Oud. So we're kind of getting a world tour with some of these Oud scents. I mean, it to a lot of noses, it can be very fecally, very poopy. It does change. After 30 to 60 minutes, it quiets down, and it's a very nice oud fragrance, but this is something you need to smell. You need to try it on your flesh before you commit to a full bottle. I think 50 mLs is around $200, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, something in that range. There's not really a place where I can use this scent. It's just too much for me. Not for me, but it's too much for me to wear anywhere. I can't really justify it. And I've got other ouds in my collection. So I don't really need this one. But if you're looking for a new perfume house, she's got a lot of very interesting fragrances, but definitely check this one out. But definitely check this one out if you are into ouds. It's an interesting take on it. And again, it's got the Laotian oud that Tower's got in his oud scent. I mean, not the same one, obviously, but, you know, from the same geographical area. So it's interesting. I would not spend my money on it just because I have other ouds that I prefer over this, but it's worth checking out if you're into the oud kind of vibe. We have another oud scent, shock gasp, since this is a multiple oud kind of disquisition. We're talking about something that I picked up about 18 months ago, a decant of it, based on, I believe, it was Curly scent, and somebody else, maybe Cuba knows, I'm not really sure, but it was one of these it was a fragrance influencer. So this is Scorpion Intense. It's from Odyon in Dubai. Check out the bottle that it comes in. It is a very oudy scent. The price point on this, if you can find it, I have not really been able to find it anywhere. They do have decants on ScentSplit, but for 50 mLs at ScentSplit, it is $185 US. It is back ordered though, so I'm not sure what that means. It was released in 2021. It's an Eau de Parfum, intense. The commentary, such as it is on ScentSplit, talking about this, is a perfume that touches the sensual universality of this icon that would intoxicate a man as much as a woman. It introduces the brand's use and gives this parfum its unisex signature and addictive comfort. Here, in a few words, is what Odyon is. An open fire, the soft drift of smoke, where sensuality rises after the light has gone. Flowery, you know, I'm not sure what it all means, as they say. The fragrance notes on Fragrantica are linear. Agarwood, also known as oud, rose, wild berries, woodsy notes, saffron, amberwood, and olivandum. Kind of a sort of a classic oudy composition, right? It's nice. It's a little bit synthetic to me, more than a little bit synthetic. And it's pretty oily because I can see that, you probably can't see it, but there is a sheen on my arm from this. Can you see my fingers, how oily my fingers are? So I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe this has got some heavy oil in it, because as I feel my hands, they're kind of gross, very oily, really oily, actually. I have not noticed this before, I don't think, in any scent that's not an attar kind of a thing. And this is definitely not oily for an attar. It's kind of sticky. And, it's not a really good recommendation. If you touch this shit and it makes you want to, look at my hand. Can you see the sheen on this? It's crazy, man. It's really nuts. I guess if you want to run it through your hair, that's good. But, I had not noticed this when I first reviewed the scent. But this is a huge, to me, I'm not liking this. The scent is okay. It's oudy. It's got oud in there, but it's a little bit too, to me, and I have nothing to base this on, but it just smells kind of synthetic. And looking at the sheen that's kind of sticking around and not disappearing or dissipating on my flesh, I'm not feeling this one. And you know, I did a review of it about a year and a half ago, and I think I was pretty positive about it. The scent was okay. I just have a feeling that my olfactory judgments were not really as fine-tuned then as they are now, which makes sense because I've been reviewing fragrances daily. So you pick up a lot of knowledge doing that. Continuing our journey in the pantheon, as it were, of Oud scents, we're going to be checking out Montale's Arabians Tonka. Now, I got turned on to this fragrance probably 18 to 20 months ago, watching Curly Fragrance and some other influencers raving about this amazing sort of Oud Tonka, very interesting scent, really awesome, nuclear, beast mode, blah, 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 blah. All right, cool. So I got a decant of it at the time, or I may have gotten a sample set. I can't really remember, to be very honest with you. And I did a review of it last year. I actually think I bought a 5 ml decant of it as well to wear around because I was so convinced by listening to one of the reviewers. Who it was, I can't remember. But so then I got this sample. I'm not even sure from whom. It wasn't ordered. It was just thrown in one of my orders. And as I'm prepping for this video, I figured, oh, you know, let me try this one. It's a blast from the past. Let me give it a shot. I put it on yesterday. I put it on, wow, 7 or 8 hours ago today. The scent is still there, and it is really, I mean, this has got incredible longevity, this scent. It's really rich. It's really deep. I like the way it fades. I really like the way it smells. It's a little bit, there's something about it, just a little bit too much for me. But it's very sexy, really warm, very nice. Is it a straight up Oud fragrance? Definitely Oud is in, I believe Oud is noted in the fragrance pyramid somewhere in the middle notes. It's there. You definitely get that smell, as is Tonka. The notes on Lucky Scent about this scent are Arabians Tonka, intended for lovers of rare perfumes, is a companion scent to the original Arabians, meant as a tribute fragrance to the Arabic horse. A fine blend of spiced smoke, bewitching Bulgarian roses, tonka bean, and bergamot gives way to the animal temperament of oud, amber, and musk. An audacious, racy, and fiery fragrance. The fragrance notes on Lucky Scent: bergamot, saffron, rose, oud, amber, oak moss, tonka bean, cane sugar, and white musk. It's noted as an exotic, woody fragrance style. This lists for 100 mLs. The list price is $190 US, which is really, really not that much. And I think, I mean, it's a very strong fragrance. A lot of people aren't going to like it, despite the fact that it does list for 190 bucks. I've seen it in various places for around $100, more or less. It's a very, very strong scent. I like it a lot. It's got smoke. It's got that oud, but it's also sweetened a little bit. That sugar that they talk about, it definitely softens it up, sweetens it up. It's really nice. You know, like so many of these really strong scents, I don't really have a place to wear this. So I kind of limit myself in terms of the oud scents that I keep in my own collection. You know, we do have the Oud Ulya, which definitely I committed to, and the Della from Tiziana, which we talked about earlier. This is really good. I would get a sample of it and check it out, because for the price, some people are going to say it's synthetic, but I got to say, for a Montale, this is one of my favorite Montales. I'm not a big fan of all of their scents generally. Some of them are a little bit too synthetic for me, but this is really nice. It's very well done. It's just, you know, I just don't really have a place to wear it. I do have the decant, which I will wear out for sure. Next up in the Oud lineup is something that we picked up, I believe, from Lucky Scent. This is Oud Stallion from Maison Crivelli. I got this little itty bitty decant. I think it's about 2 mLs, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 1.5. I'm not really sure. I've done a proper review of this. I'm going to I've sprayed it on earlier, but I'm going to spray it on again. It's really, really nice. I really like it a lot. It's an extrait de parfum. Ooh, very, very sexy to me. The commentary on Lucky Scent with respect to the Oud Stallion by Maison Crivelli is, it was inspired by the personal memories of Thibaut Crivelli, during which he smelled oud wood while attending horse races, hence the stallion, I imagine. From the grandstands, you can feel that the horses and the jockeys are in perfect symbiosis, and you are captivated by the energy and excitement of the crowd, which is unlike anything else. Maison Crivelli was created with the aim of surprising people with mixed, daring, olfactory creations that defy conventions and stand out from the classics. The unexpected contrast here is the smoky leather contrasting with the depth of oud wood. This, for 50 mLs, this lists for $350 US. That is a lot of money, a ton of money. However, the smell, the oud, it's an oud leather, like they say in the comments. It's very leathery, even though it's called Stallion Oud. And I think it really, in terms of like a photorealistic kind of a scent, this really can conjure up horses, saddles, that kind of thing. It's really very leathery. The leather is more dominant to me than the oud. If you go to Fragrantica on this scent, the main accords are leather, oud, warm spicy, floral, woody, white floral, animalic, fresh spicy, rose, and fruity. The nose behind this scent is Jordi Fernandez, and the pyramid for this, oh, that leather. The pyramid for this is, top notes are saffron, cardamom, and Indonesian nutmeg. The middle notes are jasmine, osmanthus, and Turkish rose. And the base notes are agarwood or oud, leather, cedar, tonka, and patchouli. It's got that leather. It's got that tonka. It's got, there's rose in here. I don't really pick up the patchouli, but it's a very nice, oudy, leathery fragrance. It's a very masculine scent. I don't know if this is unisex or gender specific. It's really, really nice. I would suggest, if you like these kind of scents, get a decant. This is a scent that a lot of people are not really going to be liking because it is so strong in terms of what it presents. And it's an extrait, so it's a higher concentration. And the longevity is pretty good. I mean, I just sprayed some on my arm, and it's been lasting me 5 to 6 hours. It does fade, obviously, but it's really very, very nice. Nice scent. Thank you very much, Thibaut Crivelli. The next oud that we're going to talk about is Oud Tuareg from the house of Fabbrica, Della, Musa. Now, I have reviewed this scent in a totally separate review. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the channel before this video is released or after. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. This is a very classy kind of scent. Check out the bottle. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The perfumer behind this is Hamid Muradi Kishani. And he's, been the nose behind a number of really well-known scents. It is an extrait. It's oud, obviously. There is amber in it. They've got myrrh and ginger, rose, oud, and sandalwood. The fragrance notes that are in here, at least that are talked about in Lucky Scent, are ginger, mandarin, myrrh, Typhon, Damascena roses, oud, and sandalwood. It is a really, it's a nice fragrance. It's classy. It's not really, I wanted to say skunky. It's not really like in your nose funky. It's, I don't want to use the word mild, but it's a very civilized kind of oud note. And I would definitely suggest picking up this sample set or this discovery set if you can find it. They've got a number of very nice, interesting fragrances in this. But even if you don't, and you're interested in this oud, get a decant. I mean, I would not blind buy it because it's maybe not funky enough for some and maybe be too funky for others. I honestly don't think this is going to offend if you're wearing this in maybe in a closed space with like zero ventilation. But I think if you're like in an office or even in a car, you know, a couple sprays of this is not going to choke anybody out. I have smelt far funkier in a bad way ouds, truly. Well, we have finally come to the last exemplar, as it were, in the Oud video. This is the 10th Oud that we're talking about in this video today. And this is from the House of Creed. This is a 2025 release. This is their Oud Zarian. Now, I have done a whole separate review of this a couple of weeks ago. I tried this. I gave it, like I said, the proper full review. It's a nice fragrance. Check out the bottle, and if you haven't subscribed throughout this long freaking video, please do it now. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, like I was saying earlier, this was released this year in 2025. You know, the catch is that they're supposedly using an 80-year-old oud. You know, whether this is true or not, I couldn't tell you. The price point on this is fairly ridiculous. For 50 mLs, it's $470, and for 100, it's $630. Now, the interesting thing, I'm on Lucky Scent, and these fragrances are back ordered, so people are buying this stuff clearly, and I don't think it's at discounters at this point. It's too new. It's got the oud going on, so it's kind of hot, right? So we got a proper, legit sample from Creed. And yeah, I applied this earlier. It is very oudy. Now, a lot of people compare this to Amouage's Opus, I think it's Opus 14 Royal Tobacco. There are similarities. They're not the same fragrance. There are definitely similarities. And what are the similarities? Something that I really hadn't really picked up on until just recently. You know, there's a lot of licorice and anise in this, and in the Royal Tobacco, and in a couple other scents. And I have to say, you know, I'm a huge aficionado of black licorice. Eating it. And when it's a sweet candy smell, I kind of like it too. The licorices are it's a licorice root, so it's the real deal. And you know, when I was a kid, they would give you licorice for a cough or a sore throat because it had soothing properties. At least that was the homeopathic line, from what I recollect. It's very, very deep and syrupy, the scent. I like it. I don't like it as much as I like the Royal Tobacco, which is, you know, I fell in love with it, and then I kind of fell out of love with it. It's sort of a working relationship with that. The one fragrance that I like that is kind of similar-ish to these is Renaya J's Shayar. That has got a real caramelly, licoricey kind of scent to it. I'm going to do a video comparing the three of them at some point down the line, because they're just there's a lot of similarities in this sense. I mean, there's a lot of differences as well. This is very nice. A lot of people fucking hate it for a lot of reasons. First of all, they may not like the scent. Second of all, they don't like Creed for a lot of reasons. I mean, and it's very nice, but it's just too damn expensive. You know, the mayoral candidate in New York City, the rent's too damn high. Well, this is too damn expensive. And the price point doesn't justify this. I'm telling you, it just doesn't. Which kind of brings me to the sort of wrap up with these scents. And, you know, since this is, I'm not ranking them, telling you to run out and buy them, you know, what's going to get you, you know, an intimate partner, anything like that. I'm going to tell you what I like. Out of the 10 scents that we talked about over the last X number of minutes, my personal favorite is the Amouage Oud Ulya. But that's in a tar, and it's not, unfortunately, it's not really accessible to most, because it's just, it's $540 for 12 mLs. And you're not going to get I think decants for like 8 drops for like $45 from 1 or 2 different perfume houses. So it's kind of an unrealistic thing. But in terms of oud scents, I freaking love that stuff. I really, really do. The Oud Stallion from Crivelli, that kind of is, that's almost more of a leather fragrance. It's got oud in there, but it's definitely got that leather funk to it. It's nice. If you like leather, it's worth checking out. If you're not into leather, steer clear. You know, ironically, for someone who reviews a lot of niche and like small house perfumes, I really like the Arabians Tonka from Montale. That dried down into something really nice. On the other hand, the Scorpion from Odyon, stay the hell away from that. Dusita's Oud Infinite, nice scent, worth trying. I wouldn't buy it, just that's me, and that's just because, you know, I got nothing against the house. It's a really nice fragrance. It's just I don't need to duplicate other, you know, more oud scents. The La Oud from Tower is an amazing oud scent, but you really have to be into oud, and because it's very potent, as is the Oud Assam from Renaya J. The Resala is quite nice as well. But honestly, after going through those, actually it was 11 fragrances, not 10, so this is going to be a 10 plus 1 video. The one that I really liked the most, that was not the Attar, the Oud Ulya, was the Oud Ulya from Tiziana. This is, you know, and both of those, the Oud Ulya and this one I bought, I spent my hard-earned cash on, so it shows you what I think about them. It's really nice. It's heavy on the vanilla oud, but it's very comforting. I think this is something that you can wear without pissing anybody off. I mean, don't super spray anything unless that's your thing, but I'm not a super sprayer. It's a real classy, really sexy, really nice oud / vanilla scent, and I think it's pretty approachable. So out of these 11 fragrances, my favorite are the Oud Ulya and the Oud Ulya from Tiziana. Well, so I mean, you got a number of choices, and there's, if not hundreds, there are dozens and dozens of oud scents, and we will get to more of them, because I've got a whole box full of oud decants that we're going to move through over the coming months, because, you know, there's so many of them, and figuring out which is which, I'm here to do that job for you. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite or worst oud experience / fragrance is. In the meantime, stay lifted, stay well groomed, stay smelling freaking awesome, whether it's with oud or something else or nothing at all. And don't forget to be kind to our 2- and 4-legged friends, and we will catch you on the next video. Cheers, everybody. We love you. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already throughout this monstrously long vid. Cheers.